It's big. It's both teams don't like each other, so it'll be nasty, it'll be dirty, and it's just football. You gotta love it.
You guys have had success against Midwestern, especially since you've been here and stuff. Talk about what you guys have been able to do against them every year in, year out.
It just comes down to playing, taking care of the football, and playing hard. Yeah, they scored 70 on ACU, and they're a good team, but we just got to look at it. They're just another team on the schedule to play, so we're just going to take it like that.
What kind of defensive fronts? When you look at Midwestern, do they play a lot of man? What do they do as a receiver? What do you see out there?
We saw a lot of cover 2 and cover 4 last year, so I mean, I'm sure they'll switch it up, and nobody likes to do the same thing twice. So we'll probably see a little bit of everything this week, try to get in our heads.
Talk about, do you beg for man? Do you just beg? Do you get up to that line and go, please, man me up?
Yeah, I love man coverage, especially when they're pressed up, because it's just one guy to beat, so it's fun.
Anything go into special in the practice this week? I guess as a senior kind of leader of this team, does anything go in different than weeks past?
I wouldn't think anything special. We just got to go in and have a great week of practice like every week, and we just got to prepare like we would for anybody. I mean, it's not any bigger, any lesser of a game for anything. I mean, they always tell us to play hard like it's the next game on the schedule, so we're ready.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys to come out on top and ultimately force that tie?
We just got to start fast. A couple of the games we've come out and played fast, scored first, and just had the lead early and showed that we're dominant. So we just got to come out and play strong first.
How pivotal is a role in special teams in a game like this coming up against Midwestern?
Special teams is always, I think, one of the most important parts of the game, just because a simple kickoff return can change a game, or a power return can change a game. So my special teams unit is always a big role in any game that we play. It'll be a very big role this weekend against Midwestern.
Try and put this game into perspective, how big it really is for you guys, even moving forward, hopefully making the playoffs.
I think this game is probably going to be one of the biggest games in D2 probably of the year, just because the LSC title comes down to this game, and for us to make the playoffs comes down to this game. Like, Midwestern has a lot to lose, but we also have the most to lose. So I think this game will probably be one of the biggest games in D2 this year.
Coach, looking at the stats, one of the ones that jumped out at me as you guys get ready to play Midwestern, I think 43 of 43 in the red zone or something like that. That just seems insane.
They're very efficient. They don't have any weaknesses on offense. They've got 3 outstanding receivers, big kids that can really catch the ball and run. They've got a quarterback that's completing about 70% of his passes when he has to throw. He's also a very good runner. If you remember Daniel Pope a few years ago, he's not far behind him in terms of the runner and maybe a little better thrower. They've got at least 3 really good running backs, and the strength of their offense is their offensive line. They've got a left tackle that will probably be a 2nd or 3rd round draft choice. Just a tremendous football player. He's big, he's got great feet, and he's nasty. So that's a tough combination to have. The rest of the offensive line is real solid also. So they've just been hard to stop on offense, and inside the red zone they've been unstopped this year. 43 out of 43.
How about for you, how much you just really like to beat Midwest? I mean, they're rivals. We've got Eastern New Mexico, they're next door neighbors, Abilene Christian, but there seems like every time you guys play Midwestern, there's a little chip on the shoulder.
There is. It's we recruit against them. They're close to us right here, and we've been real fortunate to win several games against those guys, 5 out of the 6. But this is going to be a big test for us this year, just like every year is. They always have great talent, and this year is no exception. It's going to be a great match. We've got a great defense. They've got a great offense. That's going to be fun to watch. We feel like our offense is as good as any in the conference right there, and we'll see how it matches up against their defense.
Coach, are you guys doing anything special to prepare for the game this week?
No, nothing different. It's the same old, same old. We're going to execute on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, have a game plan in, and then hopefully the guys will execute it on Saturday.
Talk about how this week will help shape what goes on for you guys down the road and what it means for your playoff hopes.
Well, number one, we're fighting for a Lone Star Conference title. You know, we win this game and hang on against Commerce last week. We'll have at least a share of the title, which is huge for us. The second phase of that would be the playoffs, and you know, it's going to take a win to guarantee a playoff spot. Without a win, there's no guarantees what's going to happen after that.
Talk about how important it is for your defense to get off to a hot start, not get the start they had in the first quarter against Central Washington.
It's going to be tough for our defense to really shut these guys down, but we're going to try to get as many stops as we can against them, and hopefully our offense will be coming out of the chutes a little faster than they did against Central Washington. You know, we've been a fast start offense, so I expect us to start fast on Saturday.
Do you think your offense has the upper hand against that defense?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, they've played some games where they hold people down quite a bit. Eastern New Mexico was able to get 34, 35 points on them last year. You know, or last week, I should say. So it's just a matter of who executes. You know, if their defense executes well and gets to their quarterback, well, they're going to have the upper hand on us. But if we take care of business, we think we can get the upper hand on them.
Offensively, they like to run the ball more?
They do. They're a run-first, throw-second team, but they're very efficient with the throwing game. But their bread and butter is a running game. They're leading the nation in rushing, leading the nation in scoring. So that's what they go with. Their offensive line and their running backs are really physical, very talented.
Has it been intimidating to the players knowing they put 70 on Abilene Christian?
I don't think our guys are intimidated by anything.
Is there anything that you have to tell them or about, you know, when you played Abilene Christian, you know how good they are, and putting up 70 against them, is there something that goes through the game plan that way?
We'll just look at the film on them and let the kids, you know, sort things out, and they'll come out confident that they can stop them because that is our strength also. Our defense is our strength. Our offense is their strength. It's a good challenge. Anytime you get something like that, if you're a competitor, which our defensive guys are, our defensive coaches are, why, they're going to get their best game and put it forward on Midwestern on Saturday.
Do you feel like getting into a shootout is an advantage or a disadvantage for you guys?
Well, I don't know what to expect right now. We'll just have to wait and get out there and play it. If it's a 14-13 game at the end of it, well, I'll be tickled to death as long as we got the 14 points. If it's 50-49, I'll take the 50. And so it's a matter of time, and I don't know how it's going to play out. You never do until you line up and get after it on a Saturday.
Coach, your wife wants to know how many times you can be late for dinner this week preparing.
She may not see me for dinner.
Is there anything you see going into this week's game that tells you your running backs, your running game can dominate?
Well, this game is going to be huge for the running game. Midwestern puts up a lot of points. We've got to run the clock. We got to establish our running game early, and that's kind of part of the game plan. Is you know, every week we want to run the ball well and effectively and run the clock a little bit, but this week it's going to be even more important. We've got to take care of the ball. Ball security is going to be huge. Just got to take some seconds off the clock and score some points.
Is that what y'all want to do? Y'all want to shorten this game up to keep their offense off?
Well, we don't necessarily want to shorten the game. We've got to be efficient. We've got to score every time we touch the ball, and we've got to keep their offense off the field as much as possible. Get our defense rest, and have those guys prepared when they go out there to be full speed and rested and do good out there.